You're listening to Release Your Resistance with Bex Beltran, episode 50. Welcome to Release Your Resistance. This is Bex. The only reason why any of us don't have what we want in life is because of our own resistance. Right now, I'm learning how to recognize and release my resistance, and this podcast tells you how you can release your resistance so that you can live the exact life that you want. Let's get started. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. I love it because it has everything that's great and nothing that's not great. The minimalist, decluttering, frugal side of me loves that there are no expectations of gifts, either to give or receive. And although some celebrations may be getting more and more commercial in the United States, it's not really a materialist or commercial holiday. I love that it is a day dedicated to gratitude, hosting, spending time with people you love, feeling abundant, and sharing with others. I've known that Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, and I've shared it for years, and I have been a gratitude fan for years too. Most recently, in my Facebook group for fun, friendly females, it's called Friendship 5x5, I've been posting a Thankful 30th reminder on the 30th day of each month to remind us all to make a list of 30 things we are thankful for and then share one or two of them in the group. By the way, you are invited to join me on the 30th of this month. Just take some time to make a list of 30 things you're thankful for, then come back to the show notes for this episode at bexb.org/gratitude, or find me on Facebook or Instagram and tell me one or two of the items from your list. Interestingly enough, until I started thinking about what I wanted to include in this episode, I realized maybe I don't know much about gratitude. I haven't really researched it specifically the way I have researched other topics that I believe in and that I'm interested in. For example, who's the gratitude expert? What does everyone know about gratitude? What are the famous gratitude studies that prove the value of gratitude? Wow, I have no idea. My own gratitude practice is just pieced together, and really, it's relatively recent in my life. I thought about if I were to convince you to give gratitude a try or to dive deeper into gratitude. What's my reason? What's my compelling argument to convince you that you should embrace gratitude? My immediate reason for gratitude for myself is because it feels good. So that right there is a compelling argument. If you want to feel better, get grateful. If you're feeling bad about something in your life or the way something happened or how something currently is, my guess is you might be noticing everything that's wrong with it. You might be seeing all the ways this isn't going as you expected. You might be focusing on all the negative aspects. And if you shift your perspective just a little and start wondering, what am I grateful for in this situation? Even just realizing, well, I'm grateful that it's not worse. That thought could help you start to feel better immediately and help you feel more open and start to see more possibilities. As I was thinking about this, noticing, and this shift in my perspective, my mind actually went a little dark, which I found super interesting. But I stayed with it out of curiosity, and here is what I realized. There may be certain things that I am disappointed about or mentally complaining about right now in my own life. For example, like I mentioned, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, and part of the reason is in recent years, I have a tradition of hosting a friends event on Thanksgiving night, giving everyone a great excuse to leave their other Thanksgiving commitments if they need an excuse. Some don't, but we provide our friend group with a way to celebrate together without the pressure and expectation of a full-on Thanksgiving event. So, of course, This year in 2020, I'm sad we weren't able to do it. But I realized if things were much worse, I might consider this 2020 Thanksgiving with no friends and no family one of my best ever. I might look back at this year fondly with sweet memories. I mean, I know I will anyhow. I just notice how so many of us miss the pre-COVID days and wish we could just get back to normal. But if you would have asked the 1 year ago version of us how great the present was 1 year ago, we would have had complaints and whines and wishes about how things weren't great. And now we look back at that time and we wish we could walk into a store without a mask and meet friends at a restaurant and get together with friends and families and host big parties and events. Now we look back at those days longingly. So the dark part of this realization for me was imagining that things could be so much worse than they are right now. If someone I love got hurt or sick, if something caused our lifestyle to change drastically, if our air quality got so bad that we couldn't spend any time outdoors. Again, I am trying not to get too dark, but when I think about what would be really bad, it makes my present COVID quarantine life seem pretty good and easy and even enjoyable. Feeling grateful and practicing gratitude keeps me in an abundant mindset. I know that abundance and scarcity are like magnets for me. When I am feeling abundant, I get more abundance. When I'm feeling scarce, I find more examples of scarcity. Whichever side of the scale I am on, the force of that magnet just pulls me more strongly in the direction I'm already going. Since gratitude makes me feel abundant and I want to feel abundant about whatever I can, I want to purposefully and intentionally practice gratitude as much as possible. Thinking about what I know about gratitude for this episode also got me thinking about what is the opposite of gratitude. The first concepts that popped into my mind were feeling entitled or feeling deserving. This slowed me down a little because I actually do try to feel entitled and deserving on purpose. So in practice, I don't think those concepts are the exact opposite to gratitude or that they cannot coexist with gratitude, at least not the way I think about them. I like believing that I am entitled to what I create for myself, and I like believing that I deserve good things and I deserve good experiences to happen for me. Why not? What is the benefit of not believing that I'm entitled to creating a great life for myself? And what's the benefit of not believing I deserve good things to happen? I think those words can be misinterpreted and can be cast in a negative light. So I just want to specify, I don't think I am personally and solely entitled and deserving. I think you are also entitled to whatever you create for yourself, whatever you pour yourself into and whatever you are passionate about. I also think you deserve good things, great things. I think everyone does. So when I am advocating for entitlement and deserving, I am applying it not just to me, but to you and to everyone in the world. We can all feel entitled and deserving rather than disempowered and undeserving. Then we can all be grateful for what we're entitled to and what we deserve. So since I am not using entitlement and deserving as opposites of gratitude, I had to go back into my brain to wonder, okay, what is the opposite of gratitude? And the answer I came up with is expecting. Yes, that's it. I noticed I can get myself into trouble when I expect things to happen or I expect things to go a certain way. And then when they don't, I feel disappointed. So for me, I think expectation is the opposite of gratitude. As I was researching to learn more about gratitude, I found some other possible opposites too. In an article called "Why is Gratitude So Hard for Some People?" I read that envy, materialism, narcissism, and cynicism can be thought of as thieves of thankfulness. First of all, don't you love that expression, thieves of thankfulness? And as soon as I read the words envy, materialism, narcissism, cynicism, I immediately thought, oh yes, those are the opposites of gratitude. And just like the scarcity magnet I mentioned earlier, I think if someone is envious or cynical or materialistic, it's less and less likely for them to be grateful. Gratitude is such an interesting concept to promote because it's unlimited and it's free and it's available instantly to anyone. And because it is infinite, you cannot reduce mine and I cannot reduce your gratitude. We can both keep increasing our gratitude exponentially. So why sell it? Do I get anything by promoting gratitude to you? I do. I think more gratitude makes the world a better place. Plus, it's another one of those things about my life that I think is just too good not to share. So I am compelled to share it with you and convince you and talk you into it, if you like, even if there's no direct benefit or compensation back to me. Let's switch gears and talk about gratitude research. Why aren't we naturally more grateful? My guess is we probably haven't developed the habit, or maybe it just hasn't ever occurred to us before, and we don't know that having a gratitude practice is an option, and we don't realize the benefits. Here's a little of what I learned about gratitude. The word gratitude is derived from the Latin word, I don't know if this is how you pronounce it in Latin, gratia? I don't know, gratia, which means grace, graciousness, or gratefulness. And there are many synonyms of gratitude, including acknowledgement, appreciativeness, praise, recognition, responsiveness. And realizing those synonyms is kind of interesting too, because it's possible to have a gratitude adjacent response without actually being grateful. So if someone does something for me that they think is nice, but that I don't actually appreciate, I can at least acknowledge, recognize their effort, and respond, even if I don't feel authentically grateful. Dr. Robert Emmons is one of the world's leading scientific experts on gratitude. He's a professor of psychology at UC Davis. And one of his studies points out that gratitude is a cognitive affective state that is typically associated with the perception that one has received a personal benefit that was not intentionally sought after, deserved, or earned, but rather because of the good intentions of another person. I don't know if I personally agree with this. I am grateful for so many things that I don't attribute to the intentions of another person, like hearing the birds singing in the morning. Or I am frequently grateful to my past self. Well, I guess that could be considered another person, right? A study by Sarah Algo shows that people who are more prone to gratitude have more gray matter in their right inferior temporal cortex, an area previously linked to interpreting other people's intentions. And Dawn Davis, a psychologist at Georgia State University, says gratitude is a powerful way to teach people to regulate their emotional state. I 100% agree with this. This is what I mean about pulling yourself out of scarcity mode and staying more consistently in abundance with a frequent gratitude practice. Jeffrey Froh, an associate professor at Hofstra University, found gratitude interventions to be promising, but said that encouraging everyone to adopt them was premature. So is this episode of me encouraging you to adopt gratitude in your life premature? Maybe. All of this thinking and researching made me wonder, does forced gratitude work? I don't think so. Based on the articles I read, it seems like these gratitude practices may not work for everyone, especially the claim that encouraging people to adopt them could be premature. So some people are more likely to enjoy the benefits of practicing gratitude because of their genetic makeup or other factors. But what I am choosing to believe about having an intentional gratitude practice is it can't hurt. Even if you don't have the gratitude gene or the gray matter in your brain that makes you feel better when you make a list of things you're grateful for, or when you purposefully tell someone thank you when you wouldn't otherwise, even if it doesn't make you feel better, I don't believe it will make you feel worse, so why not? What's the harm? I'm still advocating for it, especially because maybe that practice helps it become a habit for you, and maybe that habit causes your brain to rearrange itself into a brain that does get a reward from gratitude. Something else all this research and contemplation made me wonder about is, should I feel grateful for something I am not really grateful for? No, I don't think so. To me, trying to feel an emotion when you are not feeling that emotion is the definition of resistance. That's a lot of should. So if some part of you or someone else is saying, you should be grateful for this, but you're not, instead of resisting that lack of gratitude, it's an opportunity to explore why. This exploration may also not feel completely natural to you. It may feel uncomfortable or awkward to really check in and find out why you don't feel grateful that something has happened or someone has given you something or done something for you. But think about this. By exploring and uncovering your thoughts that lead to an emotion other than gratitude, you can learn so much about your own thought patterns and beliefs. You might be surprised at what you learn. You can use that new information to make decisions about what you want to intentionally think moving forward. Or you may realize that you have been believing something or assuming something, and this introspection shows you that you don't want to keep believing it. You can drop those thoughts. In case you are inspired to explore your own thankful thoughts and come up with a gratitude practice of your own, I'll just take you on a quick tour of my gratitude influencers. I first heard about the idea of an intentional daily gratitude practice as part of Positive Psychology from Shawn Achor, the author of The Happiness Advantage. He suggested an intentional practice of writing 3 new things each day that you are grateful for as part of a 21-day happiness challenge. I learned more about the connection of appreciation and abundance from Jess Lively. She introduced me to the concept of a rampage of appreciation, which is similar to the writing practice I just mentioned, but much longer. It can be pages and pages of things you're grateful for. I learned about gratitude in advance from my mentor, Brooke. She suggests to visualize and feel grateful for things you don't even have yet. It's kind of a trick to your brain to create what you want for yourself because you're already pre-grateful for it. She has an entire podcast episode about this topic. You can check it out. So that is everything I wanted to share with you. But of course, I have questions for you too. I want you to share with me. First of all, a resistance check. Do you have any resistance to feeling grateful or any resistance to anything that I've mentioned on today's episode? And do you have a gratitude practice of your own? What is it? And also, what are you grateful for? I would be so curious to hear. I want to know all the answers. I'll be so grateful if you share them with me at bexby.org/gratitude. And I am already so thankful if you are on my email list. You are one of my favorite people. And I have sent you a list of 10 gratitude practices you can try for yourself. It's in your email this week, along with the link to this week's episode. If you're not on my email list yet, make sure to join at bexby.org/favorites. You will get an email with each week's new episode, plus the extras and the offers and the bonuses that I send out to all of my favorite people. And before I go today, I just want to tell you, if one of the things that you're finding it hard to be grateful for is work or your work situation or your job or your work environment or your coworkers or your manager or your boss or anything, it doesn't even have to be work related. If you find yourself not being grateful for something in your life, I created a mini workshop for you called How to Love Your Life even when you hate your job. But you could substitute that last part, job, for anything else in your life that you might not be feeling especially grateful for right now. So if you would like to watch that mini workshop, it's under 15 minutes, but you will learn a lot. You'll hear a tool that I use and I wished I had had back when I was hating a job that I was in. But go ahead and go to bexby.org/mini, M-I-N-I, workshop. You can sign up to get the workshop, watch it, and then let me know what you think. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts and research all about gratitude. I am grateful for you. I'm so happy that you have downloaded or streamed this episode, and I'm really, really thankful that you followed me along on this journey. Thank you again for your support, your encouragement, your interest, your attention. Thank you. And I will talk to you next week. This has been Release Your Resistance. Thank you for listening. If you like this podcast, make sure you're subscribed and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Also, think about someone who you know who would love this episode and share it with them. There should be a share button on your app if you're listening to this on your phone. If you'd like to continue this conversation one-on-one or in real time, come visit me on my site at bexby.org to see how we can work together.